Welcome to Grow Overload. I'm Anthony, and XTOOL has graciously sent over, or they will reimburse me, but they told me to buy it and review it first. But they have graciously or had me take a look at their XTOOL Advancer, their AD20 Pro wireless ODB II scanner for iOS or for iPhone and Android. And it comes in a little box like this. You can see they also have, if that decides to, hey, actually focus. There we go. You can see that's a little bit on there. There's to download the app. I worked with them to get that all fixed up. They have, won't show you that, but they have, won't show you the QR code, otherwise you'll be able to pair with this one. This is, as soon as focus a little bit more, AD20, that's to pair it, basic box. It's got some instructions with it, and it actually, you download the app and it's pretty much ready to go. So you have instructions here, and right, this is just a basic diagnostic tool. If you watched my other one about the XTOOL D9, that is way more advanced than what this is. But if you want to spend a lot less than what that D9 is, this is a good option for you. So it has some of the specs on it is that it's got a processor. Here's some of the supported items. It's got a little Cortex M4 processor on there. It takes its voltage reading and everything else. They kind of say that this is pairing with one vehicle, which, by the way, if you're going to use this, you're probably going to use it on multiple vehicles. So here's the actual device. It's pretty small, compact, right? It's got this is the other side. And I plug it in, and one thing that they don't have is a feature for multiple cars, even though they have an ag car feature. Doesn't make much sense to me, but maybe they get that in the future. We'll see. They had I was converting the units to US units. They had a little thing where I was going through some of my live data, and it wasn't populated to US units. So, you know, they're fixing that in an app update. The great thing about it is an app update is going through, and they will fix it. That's a really good thing. They're really good on support. So I've had this for a little bit. I've talked to them. This is about $75, $80, someplace in there. I believe I saw it on. I got this before Prime Days, but I think Prime Days were down to like 40 bucks. So, you know, this is their Advancer tool, right? It is a Advancer app. It's ODB II. And if you want to see some of the data it can do, we'll take a look at that here in a little bit. I did switch it in between my Toyota Highlander I have, and I have a Ford Expedition Max. So I've gone between both of those. Granted, you have to reset it up each time. So what you do is there's a QR code on the back here that I'm covering up, so you guys just don't scan it and try to connect to it. But it's a QR code you scan. It actually goes through it. Then you plug in the vehicle. It says run a vehicle at idle. I've done it where I was just on ignition on, no running of the vehicle, and then you can start. It'll pair, and then you're off to the races in the phone app. Very simple to set up. It does your DCTs. You can get all those. You can get some basic scan. It does some battery stuff. I don't know how good it is because I'm of the thing of, hey, I'm going to check the battery with actually a battery checker, but there's, you know, that actually connects to the battery for battery testing, but that's me. This is supposed to also kind of check that. Maybe with some of the newer cars, you get more of that with computer feedback. I still would check it with a battery checker, me personally. They do say you can run this in your car all the time. I disagree. I believe it's a diagnostic port for a reason. So use it as a diagnostic port. Don't use it as something that is always plugged in. You're drawing that voltage all the time. If there's a problem, you don't want to have to also deal with that down the road. That's just, for me, you know, all the time, right? If I'm diagnosing the car, I plug in the tools that I need. When I'm done, nothing stays in the ODB 2 point. That's just the way I do it. But this, they say that you plug it in, you can monitor it. It can even give you on your phone. You can even have it as a speedometer. Let's say your speedometer goes out or whatever. There's items like that. This is a little interesting too. Right there on the top, if you can see, there's like a little hole that's actually an LED, so it turns on when you're ready to go. And just a quick and dirty of what I'm going to say here is, you know, for what it is, for what it costs, it's a pretty good tool. It gives you the information that you need. Let's say you have a problem, you know, I'm more than willing to plug this in and just use it for there. It can clear some DCTs, so that's good. My Ford has a DCT that keeps popping up. I know what it is. It's the stupid second row middle seat. There's something wrong with it folding down. I don't. It needs to be fixed at some point, but it's not like it's a crucial thing. So it always comes back when you restrict the vehicle because it's still a problem. So I do know it can clear. I do know that code comes back too. But hey, that's the only code on the vehicle. I'm fine with that for your automatic seat. It still can go down manually, right? But you know, this is a little advancer tool for 80 bucks, right? You want to take a look at your car, take a look at what it can do. They, again, I only tested this on 2 vehicles. I recommend you go contact them if you want to look at a vehicle outside of those 2 and see what they support. We'll go up in a little bit and take a look at it in my vehicle and just see if what all the data you get. Of course, the data is going to be specific to that vehicle, right? The computers in the vehicle only give off so much, but this is a pretty interesting tool for 80 bucks. You know, it's not as much as the D9. I really like the D9 of what it can do, but this is another cool little tool that if you need something quick, something that you should probably check out, and to help you maybe diagnose something, maybe even keep you in check of, hey, I got my own vehicle and I want to see what the codes are before I take it someplace to see I'm not getting ripped off. This is an option for that too. Granted, I haven't, I know that there's Blue Driver out there. I know there's other ones. I haven't checked those out. I haven't been able to compare them. I'd like to. This tech channel, I think it's interesting, right? Because this is a lot of tech in here, goes to your phone and everything else. So let's jump over the car and let's talk about this a little bit more. Okay, I started the screen record here, but it already has my Toyota up on top. I don't know if you can tell that. Right up here. I'm going to switch this and do add a car, even though I am doing it. Yes. So this is actually pairing to the device. It actually has you scan it, which I just did, and you just scan the QR code on the back of this little device here. So you scan that little QR code that's right underneath my finger. That then gets you into the screen of pairing, and then you start pairing. And what I'm going to do now is hopefully figure out the port without having to open up the door and get out. And then we go start pairing. I'm going to put the vehicle on accessories. And let's see, it does take it a little bit of time to connect. Please keep the car on idle. And now it's getting, I don't have it on idle. You need to have it on accessories at least, I think. And I'll plug the screen on top of here from the phone, but I figured I'd put it on the camera so as well, just so I had a backup. But it's getting access to ODB, OBD, blah. Oh man, not the best at it. Keep saying that, but but this is just getting access to it. It takes it a while. This was just having fun, so I don't know why it's taking so long, but we'll see here. It's connecting to the device still, and let's see. I mean, I can start the car. I feel like every single time, well, I did this with just on accessories. Oh, let's start it. Sometimes it's weird like this. You're gonna get my beeping. Let's turn off the HVAC so you guys don't have to deal with that noise. There you go. Please select what it is. You can search Toyota. Please select the year. And then Highlander. Confirm. And now this is all paired up. You can actually go back and do it on idle, but well, we'll see. it's all paired up here, and now this is the screen that you get. It is interesting overall. It can keep track of your, if you plug it in all the time, your mileage, your consumption, all that stuff. It keeps track of, like, if you put this open, it has your RPM, miles per hour, your coolant. It is very hot in my garage. Not fun out here, and I turned off the air for you guys. So yeah, there is a quick test you can do. So here's the checking of the quick test. It goes through the battery voltage, the coolant temperature, the engine load, the engine rev, and the throttle position, intake temperature. What else? Battery, you can do a check, you can do a smog check, you can do in-depth check, ODB fault check. So let's just do battery checks, start testing. AC is off, and then please turn off your engine. So it's off. So it says turn off your engine, come on. The engine's off, please turn on the engine. So now I turn it on. Of course, you get the beeping again, and then it's analyzing the battery. The vehicle doesn't like me, it likes to beep at me, telling me what to do. So let's see here. It gives you the voltage starting to, it says the battery's good. You can go back. You can do a smog check, start testing. This is what it kind of does. It runs through what the computer kind of tells it to. In-depth check. Let's, before we do that, yeah, let's do the in-depth check. So you start checking. This goes through on obtaining all your diagnostic data throughout the vehicle. So it takes it a second, and let's see here. Getting all the vehicle info. Right, it isn't, spectacular fast, but it isn't slow either. Now this is a 2016, so newer vehicles does do it a little bit faster with tire pressure monitoring. So it gets that. Now it's checking your engine. And if you take a look at my XTOOL D9 video, you'll see that there's a lot more data that kind of comes out of that one. A lot more data you can do, a lot more, resetting, all that stuff. But for what this is, right, you're going through all your safety stuff. You're going through everything that you kind of want to check. And I think this is a great tool. Let's say you want to check something out before you take it, or that you have a, engine light on, or you have a code, or you want something fixed, and you take a look at it, and then you're able to be like, hey, this is maybe how to fix it. This is or this is the code, so I know, you can do some research online to see, hey, is this something that we need to fix? One thing you can do too is if you have a issue, which I won't do on this vehicle unless this vehicle shouldn't have an issue, is that when you click on it, you can touch the DCT and it will take you to a search of what might be wrong, which I think is a nice little, quick, easy access for somebody that's just getting in, trying to understand what might be wrong, to see, hey, this is my vehicle with this code, what could be going on. And I think that could be a nice, easy way that you jump in and kind of fix things up here a little bit quicker. Or when you take it to the dealer, try not to get ripped off, or a repair shop. I think everyone should have a good repair shop that they like to go to that's honest, but it can be hard sometimes to get that. So this is just one thing that you can do. So now this goes through all checks, no faults. So that's kind of cool. So this is the in-depth check, and then you can do the ODB II fault check. And this, I think, kind of does the same thing if I recall. Oh, this kind of does a little bit different. So this just checks the system. If you look at the D9, right, it's doing a whole bunch more different kind of, more in-depth stuff. This just gives you, hey, is it normal? Is it not? But, this is a lot cheaper tool at 80 bucks. You expect it to do quite a bit less. So this is what it kind of goes through, and it decides to check. And yeah, it's all, you get all these items. You can't click on all this stuff. So let's just actually go out here. Now, you're back in here. You have like the trouble scanning, in-depth check, which we just did, live status. You also got a mill check. So Here's everything for the mill lamp fault check indicator. So remember I said this changed to miles. They will fix that in an app update. This should be miles, not kilometers for me. And then the live data here. What's nice is that you have a problem, you email them. They seem to be pretty quick. The app updates should be within the week, which I appreciate them actually going through and getting it all done. But you kind of see the engine data, current speed, current engine rev, current temperature, voltage. You can even go down here and get all the other data. You can select all of what they have on here, and it updates as this goes through, so you can kind of see each of these are pretty interesting. So, and then it'll updates as you scroll to that side. And again, distance traveled since DCT's cleared. Kilometers, this should be miles. And so they're going to go through and make sure that the units are proper for what I've asked for, or what selection you've done. So this is live data. That's pretty cool to actually get some of the live data, right? Some tools maybe just read it. This gives you some live data. And if it works here, and then there is home page, trip data, right? This can keep track of that. This is general settings in here. You have your fault warnings, your units, so that can be checked if you haven't plugged it in. Languages, feedback suggestions are here, what you can do, car info, and let's see, general settings again, whoops, units, so you got those, metric, British, US system. Oh, come on. General settings, clear cache, personalized ads, I have that turned off. Check for updates, stuff like that. You can get back to your home page, and then you have your application center, and then this gives you your battery check mode, trouble, common functions up here, everything you can do, and then you can have a smart dash, performance test, trip management, also your maintenance light reset. So this is kind of the basics of all this stuff in this app. I think it's something that you can go through and kind of be like, hey, this is what, this is a quick little detail of what I want, what I need. I think that this is a great option for people that don't want to spend too much money, don't want to get into a big computer, but want to, see what's up with their vehicle. Granted, you can't do each individual vehicle. It's just a repair if you swap out vehicles. If you put it in a different vehicle, it will tell you which, say, hey, you got to repair it. Now, the repair process is, I think, a little bit clunky. The repair process, even though you've already paired this device and it already knows it, it actually requires you to rescan the QR code each time. I think that they need to fix that. I have notified them of that problem. My background is, software development, so there's a few things that I like more easier of life, but I have notified them of that, and I think that hopefully they will get there and make this a more well-rounded product. But overall, for if you want to see into your vehicle and see the data, this is a good option for you for the price. And if you're looking at something like this in this price range, definitely consider it. Definitely take a look. I have not tried it out with something like the Blue Driver, some of these other ones, but maybe it compares pretty similar in features of what you want, and it's something to really consider here going forward. But with that, I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you for taking the time to help support Gray Overload and helping this channel grow. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, God bless.